Pepsodent invites you to have a date with Judy. You know Judy Foster, a typical American girl in a typical American family. Well, let's see. It's a quiet evening in the Foster house. Mother is sewing, father is reading, Randolph is tying Boy Scout knots, and Judy is glumping because she doesn't have a date. Mother looks up.
Melvin,
Yes, dear.
I had a letter from Grandma today.
You did, Mother? What'd she say?
She's worried about Aunt Lilly.
Why is she worried about Aunt Lilly?
Well, because
Don't
she...
tell me. Let me guess. Because Aunt Lilly isn't married.
Well, yes.
Well, that's nothing new. Grandma's been worrying about that for the last 10 years.
I was just thinking, maybe we ought to have Lily here for a visit. A sweet girl like Lily.
Girl? Mother, she's 34 years old.
Well, really, Judy, that isn't the last stage of senility, you know.
They're girls to Mother till rigor mortis sets in.
I'm going to write Aunt Lily to come, and we'll see if we can't find somebody for her.
Maybe Judy could get her a date.
Me? I'm having enough trouble getting dates for myself. I haven't had a date for 3 nights.
Well, what are you complaining about? Aunt Lily hasn't had a date for 3 years.
That isn't so. I'm sure lots of young men have been extremely fond of Aunt Lily.
In 34 years, they've had lots of time to.
The problem is, how can we dig her up a man?
Digging him out might be a good idea.
Gee, come to think of it, I know somebody old enough for Aunt Lily.
Oh, who?
Mr. Manchester. He's a librarian at the library. I bet he's 35 if he's a day.
And he's a day, all right.
Why, that's a simply wonderful idea. But I wonder how we should go about asking him.
Well, I could kind of take a book out of the library and just sling the invitation to him.
We could invite him to dinner the very first night Aunt Lily's here.
Oh, sure. We wouldn't want to waste any time. After 34 leisurely years, we got to step on it.
That's only the beginning of your date with Judy, chaperoned by Pepsodent. How would you like to find out if your present toothpaste is really doing what you think it is? Maybe it's letting you down. Now, here's the way to find out. Run the tip of your tongue over your teeth. Can you feel a filmy coating? That's what makes teeth dingy, and it's a sign that you'd better switch to Pepsodent toothpaste tonight. Pepsodent with Irium is the new high-speed toothpaste with the fresh taste and the super cleansing ingredients. It removes that dingy coating from teeth, makes them so brilliantly clean they feel shiny smooth and they look sparkling bright. So hunt up a collapsible metal tube from any product and take it to your drug counter tonight to exchange for a new tube of Pepsodent toothpaste. And now, back to A Date with Judy.
My goodness.
Hello, Lily. Well, it's certainly good to see you.
Do I get a kiss from my favorite brother-in-law?
You sure do, Lily.
Too bad Bobby married. He'd be perfect.
Well, I'm starved. When is that guy going to get here?
Guy? Dora, have you invited someone else to dinner? Well, yes, in a way. Man?
Well, yes, in a way.
Oh, Dora, really, you didn't have to. Now, Lily, this is just sort of an accident. As a matter of fact, we'd invited this gentleman to dinner long before we knew you were coming.
Oh, yes, eons before. I'll go.
Now, I wonder who that could be.
Good evening.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Manchester.
It's very kind of you to stop at the library this afternoon. Invite me to dinner.
This afternoon?
Oh, that's perfectly all right, Mr. Manchester. Come in. I'd like you to meet my, a friend of mine, Lily Rogan.
How do you do?
How do you do?
And you know the rest of the family.
Oh, my, what a formal introduction. Suppose I do it all over. Lily, this is Donald. Donald, this is Lily.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Do people ever call you Don?
Oh, yes, indeed. At college, Ohio Wesley in 1924, they called me Don. Or Manchi.
Isn't that cute? Manchi. Isn't that cute, Lily? Yes, indeed.
Well, now that that's over, when are we going to have dinner?
My Aunt Lily cooked every inch of it, from soup to nuts.
Why, Randolph, I did not. Lily is so modest.
Well, how's business, Mr. Manchester?
Business?
Yeah.
Oh, very good. We collected 32 cents in fines today.
Oh, really?
Mr. Manchester is the new librarian, Lily. Lily is very interested in books, Mr. Manchester.
Oh?
She'd make a wonderful wife for somebody who was interested in literary things.
Judy!
My, that was a fine dinner, Mrs. Foster.
Thank you. Melvin, aren't you planning to go to your lodge meeting tonight?
Why, no. My lodge meets on Thursdays.
Oh. Well, the Exalted High Counselor called and said it was moved up to tonight. Early tonight.
Are you going out tonight, Mother, as if I didn't know?
Well, yes, I am. My Red Cross class meets tonight.
I thought that met on Fridays.
Well, during emergencies, they call special sessions.
Yes. Well, my goodness, I must say this isn't very sociable of us to run off like this, but it will give you two a chance to get acquainted.
Oh, really, Dora, you don't have to do that.
Judy and Randolph are going out in the kitchen and wash the dishes. Aren't you, dears?
Well, I guess we are. I guess.
And then they go right to bed, so you won't have to worry about them disturbing you. Well, come on, Melvin.
Thank you very much for the dinner, Mrs. Foster.
Oh, that's all right. Good night.
Good night.
Well, Dora, what are we going to do tonight?
What do you think we're going to do? You're going to take me to a movie.
Are they still in the living room?
Stay back here in the hall, Judy. I'll take a quick peek.
Are they?
Yeah. He's on one end of the Davenport and she's on the other.
Let me look. Gosh, she isn't turning on the heat, is she?
Personally, Mr. Manchester, I prefer Dickens' later works. Great Expectations always seem to me a little, immature.
Jeepers, I'd never handle him that way.
My favorite work of Dickens is Nicholas Nickleby, although I have found great charm in Pickwick Papers.
Me, I find no charm in this conversation.
Have you read much of Pope and Dryden?
Yes, I have.
Poor Aunt Lily. She doesn't know beans about man. She's a rank amateur.
Well, I wouldn't call either of them great lovers.
Don't you love the lilt of Pope's rhyme couplet?
Yes, I do.
Isn't that awful?
Hey, he's getting up. Maybe we'll see some action now.
Oh, my. It's 9:45. It's getting late.
Getting late.
It was charming meeting you, Mr. Manchester. I hope I'll see you soon.
I hope so, too.
This is the critical moment. If he asks her for a date now, she's in. Otherwise, she's cooked.
Good night, then.
Good night.
She's cooked.
What are you doing a week from tomorrow night, Miss Rogan?
Wednesday? Well, nothing.
He came through.
But a week from tomorrow night.
Yeah, I wouldn't exactly call it a whirlwind courtship.
I wonder if I might come to call.
Call. He's one of those parlor plotzers.
Oh, I'd be very happy to see you.
Well, good night, then, Miss Rogan.
Good night, Mr. Manchester.
Well, he's gone. Yipes, at a one a week rate, it'll take her till Christmas.
You know, Randolph, I think I'll have to give her some advice about men.
You mean you're going to part with some of your vast store of knowledge on the subject?
If it helps her yoke a bloke, I'd be glad to.
Well, you've sure done enough research on the subject.
Aunt Lily, I hate to say this, but frankly, your technique is a little oogie.
There speaks the voice of experience.
Aunt Lily, tell me frankly, do you have a yen for Mr. Yanchester?
A yen? Oh, why, Judy, I hardly know the man.
What's that got to do with it? I asked you if you had a yen for him.
Well, I think he's very intelligent.
In Aunt Lily's language, that's a yen.
Look, Aunt Lily, one of the first principles of getting a guy gaga about you is to be glamorous in his eyes. Now, for instance, take Edgar.
Who's Edgar?
This guy I go with. He's gaga about me. Calls me up night and day. Now, the first thing I did when I wanted to make him wacky...
And he was that way to begin with, believe me.
Randolph, please.
How can I give Aunt Lily any advice? Well, the first thing I did was find out what moving picture star was his ideal. Then I simply made myself look like that star, and there I was. His living ideal of glamour.
Do you always do that?
Well, sure. This week she's Dorothy Lamour for Edgar, and a couple of weeks ago she was Lana Turner for Gerald.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Her Lana Turner's okay, but her Dorothy Lamour is very nerve-wracking.
It is not, Randolph. Aunt Lily, I'll guarantee this will work.
Do you think so, Judy?
I'm positive.
Well, I'm not so sure, but, well, give me the works.
Now, Andre, I want you to make Aunt Lily positively umphy.
I will make her so umphy it will hurt.
Good. You can start with a mud pack, and then an ice pack, and after the glacial, a facial, and then an eyebrow pluck and an eyelash curl. This is not goo, Aunt Lily. It's perfectly terrific lipstick, isn't it, Andre?
Glamourella number 5, no less.
It's positively kiss-proof and everything.
Now, pucker up your lips, Aunt Lily.
And, Andre, when you finish the manicure, give her a pedicure.
The passion red nail polish on her feet, too?
Of course.
Oh, the passion red nail polish. He's so passionate.
Gee, Mitzi, what did Judy want us to come over here for?
Well, she said that something startling was going to emerge from the beauty shop. She wanted both of us to pass on it.
Well, here it comes.
Hello, Mitzi.
Hi, Randolph.
Hello, Randolph.
Aunt Lily.
Aunt Lily, this is Mitzi. I asked her to drop by to, well, sort of give you the once-over.
Oh, really, Judy? Do you have to call in perfect strangers?
Oh, Mitzi isn't a perfect stranger. She's my best girlfriend. Besides, she's practically an authority on glamour, aren't you, Mitzi?
Well, practically.
Doesn't Aunt Lily look perfectly yummy?
She sure does.
Me, I haven't been able to take my eyes off Aunt Lily since she came out of the beauty parlor. And I see a couple of pedestrians with the same idea.
I don't know whether they're staring at me or glaring at me.
Let's go. Just wait till you get home and Mother sees you. She'll be insane about you.
And as for Father, they'll have to put him in an institution.
Gee, Aunt Lily, don't you feel just like a movie star?
Well, I certainly don't feel like myself.
I think you wow any man you meet, if you just remember to turn on the heat.
Turn on the heat.
That's what I've been trying to tell her, Mitzi. She means just give with the stuff, Aunt Lily. You know, quick on the trigger.
Give with the stuff.
It's really very easy. For instance, what repartee would you hand out if a man said to you, "Come on, Mouse, let's grouse"?
Well, no man I know would ever say, "Come on, Mouse, let's grouse."
You'd better listen to Mitzi, Aunt Lily. Her advice has been very successful with me.
All I'm trying to do is make a cuddle cat out of you.
Well, I'm not so sure I want to be a cuddle cat.
Why, you do too, Aunt Lily. Go ahead, Mitzi.
All right. Now, what do you come back with when somebody says to you, "What's cooking, good looking"?
Well, I don't know.
You come back with, "Soup, Droop."
I do.
Well, blow me down. Look who that is over there across the street.
Why, it's Mr. Manchester.
Oh, my.
Why, Aunt Lily, under that glamourella number 5, you're blushing.
He's coming over to talk to us. Now, remember, Aunt Lily, sparkle. Be enthusiastic. Act hip.
Do I look all right?
You look like a house afire.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Do you want to make a positive impression on this guy, Miss Rogan?
Oh, yes, I do.
Then hand out the goo.
Do like Mitzi says. Talk about his necktie and his shoulders and his chest expansion.
Well, I'll try. Oh, here he comes.
Oh, Miss Rogan.
Oh, dear.
Miss Rogan.
Good luck, Aunt Lily.
Good afternoon, Miss Rogan. And hello, children.
Hello.
Hi, Menchie.
Why, Miss Rogan.
What's cooking? Good looking.
I beg pardon?
That's a very beautiful necktie you have on. And so are your shoulders.
What was that, Miss Rogan?
And you've got a very snazzy chest expansion.
Why, Miss Rogan.
When are you coming over to dinner again, Mr. Manchester?
Why, I don't know.
You know what we're having for dinner tonight?
Well, no,
We're having soup, Droop.
Oh, my goodness.
You're doing fine, Miss Rogan.
Would you like to come to dinner tonight, Mr. Manchester?
Well, I hardly think I can make it.
Come over and grouse, Mouse.
Some other time, perhaps.
Oh, but Mr. Manchester.
Well, the fact is, I have a library committee meeting tonight, and I I must attend. I'm dreadfully sorry.
I'll see you next Wednesday, then.
Well, I'm not absolutely sure that I can make it. That is, well, I'll have to let you know. Well, I'm very glad I saw you. I'm sorry I have to dash.
Goodbye, Mr. Manchester.
Goodbye. I really have to dash.
Well, that certainly was a dashing conversation.
I can't understand it. You were just wonderful, Aunt Lily.
Yes. You certainly sparkled and everything.
Yes, I sparkled all right. Sparkled him right out of my life.
Well, he certainly did have a funny reaction.
Oh, well, Aunt Lily, don't bother about him. If he has funny reactions like that, I just wouldn't waste any time on him.
I certainly wouldn't. He acted like an ick.
He did not. He's a sweet, sensible man, and I like him very much.
Jeepers, I never thought love would enter into this.
Well, Judy and Randolph seem to be doing it the hard way. We'll see what happens on your date with Judy in just a moment. You know, there's a hard way and an easy way to do everything. The hard way to learn if your teeth are dingy, if your smile is unattractive, is to watch the reaction of your friends. If they seem to avoid you, that may be a clue. The easy way to learn about your smile takes 2 seconds and spares you lots of embarrassment. Now, here's all you do. Run the tip of your tongue over your teeth. Feel that filmy coating? That dingy film collects stains on your teeth, spoils the effect of your smile, and there's no reason in the world why you should put up with it. For Pepsodent toothpaste removes that filmy coating you can feel with your tongue. Pepsodent with Irium is a clean-tasting toothpaste with super cleansing ingredients. It foams through your mouth in millions of refreshing bubbles that loosen and flush away the dingy film from your teeth. When you brush your teeth with Pepsodent, they're so clean they pass the tongue test. They feel clean, and they look so sparkling and shiny, everybody likes to see you smile. Tomorrow may be your big day, so go to your drug counter tonight and say, Pepsodent toothpaste, please. And remember to take an empty tube, any size, from any product, to exchange for your new tube of Pepsodent. Well, let's see what's happening now on Your Date with Judy.
Oh, Randolph, I feel terrible. Aunt Lily's been practically in tears ever since we got home. She's practically ruining her makeup.
Well, to me, she looks better with it ruined.
You know, Randolph, I think she goes for Mr. Manchester.
Well, she'll never marry him if we keep helping her.
You know what I'm going to do, Randolph?
I hate to think.
I'm going to offer her Edgar.
Edgar? What's she going to do with him?
Well, haven't you ever heard of the Eternal Triangle? When Mr. Manchester hears Aunt Lily's going out with Edgar, well, you know what we'll have?
What?
Jealousy. I'm calling Edgar right now.
Hello?
Hello, is that you, Edgar?
Yeah, what do you want, Judy?
How would you like to have a date?
Huh?
Isn't this a slight reversal of form?
Oh, sure, Judy, anytime you say.
How about tonight?
Swell, when'll I pick you up?
Oh, the date's not with me. It's with a new girl who just came to town.
A terribly new girl, just 34 years old.
Be quiet, Randolph. Is it a date, Edgar?
Hey, what are you trying to pass off on me? Some witch?
Why, Edgar, what a way to talk. This girl's just about the cutest number you ever saw.
All right, what's the matter with her?
Nothing. She's very young and very attractive.
And hasn't had a date for 6 years.
Randolph. Edgar, will you do this for me?
Well, all right. I'll do it if you'll promise to go with me to the summer prom.
It's a date. Now come right over and pick up Aunt Lily.
Aunt Lily? Okay, Judy. I'll be right over.
He's going to do it. Aunt Lily! Aunt Lily! Yes, Judy? Aunt Lily, I've got you a date with a new man.
I don't want a date with a new man.
Why, Aunt Lily, don't be silly. You didn't want a date with Mr. Manchester, and just look how he turned out.
Yeah, just look.
Now, Aunt Lily, it's absolutely imperative you impress Edgar, because then you'll get dates with other boys. And the first thing you know, it'll get back to Mr. Manchester. You're chasing around with everybody.
Will that be good?
He'll be eaten up. Now, look, Aunt Lily, we've got to rebuild your personality entirely.
Again? Oh, no.
We're going to rehearse. Randolph, you're Edgar.
I'm who?
You pretend you're dating Aunt Lily.
Well, okay. I'm in the Edgar mood. And here I come, ready or not.
Judy, somehow my heart isn't in this.
Remember, it's all for Mr. Manchester.
Well,
Well, Randolph?
Why, my dear Miss Rogan, it's a pleasure to see you again. May I kiss your hand?
Randolph, you know Edgar doesn't talk like that. You don't have to be so Shakespearean.
Oh, excuse me. It's the Manchester influence. Okay, I'll start over. Hiya, Goon. Let's spoon.
That's too abrupt, Randolph. It's too abrupt. Don't you understand? Try it again. Oh, dear, that must be Edgar. We haven't had time to rehearse.
Oh, it really doesn't make much difference, Judy.
Hello, Edgar.
Hiya, Judy.
Edgar, I want you to meet your date, Aunt Lily. Aunt Lily, this is Edgar, and Edgar, this is Miss Rogan.
How do you do?
How do you do? It is a pleasure to meet you.
Gee, he's positively Shakespearean.
Edgar! Gophers, what are you doing over at my house so early in the morning?
I couldn't sleep, so I just thought I'd come over.
Did you have a nice time with Aunt Lily last night?
Judy, I gotta talk to you.
Well, of course, go ahead.
Judy, I'm bats about her.
Who?
Lily.
Aunt Lily?
Don't keep calling her Aunt Lily. Well, she's hardly any older than you are.
Why, Edgar Wilson, she's twice my age. And yours, too.
That's just it. She's so mature.
Edgar Wilson. Have you got a crush on Aunt Lily?
Don't call it a crush. That sounds so, childish. And Lily's so, spiritual and womanly and everything. Judy, I'm going to ask you something.
What?
Do you think I have a right to ask Lily to wait for me?
Wait for you?
Well, yeah, just until I finish high school.
Edgar, you're out of your mind.
No, I'm not. A lot of men have married older women. Why, when I'm 60, she'll only be 77. And gee whiz, when you're 77.
Oh, Bugs. I never thought this would happen.
Judy, would you mind just awfully if I took Lily to the summer prom instead of you?
Oh, characters.
May I see Lily, please?
She's still sleeping. Do you want me to wake her?
Oh, no. I wouldn't disturb her sylvan dreams for anything. I'll come back later. Bye, Judy. Oh, Lily Bell. Oh, Lily Bell.
This is grim. Randolph, come here. I need you.
What's the matter now, Miss Fairfax?
The triangle just backfired. Edgar is gaga about Aunt Lily.
Now I have seen everything.
And me. I'm just positively gaga about Edgar. Oh, Randolph, I'm desperate. Aunt Lily's in grave danger.
Of what? Being robbed by the cradle?
We've got to do something for our own blood relation, Aunt.
Sweet, unselfish little Judy. Of course you aren't worried about holding Edgar or anything.
Randolph, don't quibble. What'll we do?
Well, let me put my brain to it. I'll think of something. Now, don't be so desperate, Judy. You'll get your man back.
Hey, if Edgar had married Aunt Lily, he'd be my uncle.
Well, like I've been telling you, Mr. Manchester.
Hush, no loud talking in the library, Randolph.
Oh, well, what I've been trying to tell you is that my Aunt Lily's been running around with another man.
She has.
Yeah, he's practically on the verge of almost proposing to her.
Hush. He is?
Yeah, it's one of those whirlwind courtships. He's got her practically swept off her feet.
Hush. Oh, that's terrible.
He likes her because she's so simple and intellectual and everything. You know that day we saw you in the street. She was just made up that way because she was going to a masquerade.
Hush. A masquerade? I never thought of that.
Yeah, she was going as Judy. Everybody had to go as something funny. You heard her practicing talking like Judy.
Yes, I did. A masquerade. Well, that's wonderful news.
Of course. Now, if you move fast, you may still be in time to stop the elopement. There may be a ladder outside of her window this very moment.
Randolph, I'm going to move faster than I've ever moved in all my life.
Mr. Manchester, hush.
Where is she?
Why, good afternoon, Mr. Manchester.
Where is she?
Where's who?
Lily, of course.
Well, I guess she's upstairs in her room.
Oh, quick, before she escapes.
Mr. Manchester, are you going upstairs?
We've got to stop that elopement.
Oh, yes, of course. Elopement?
There may be a stepladder outside her window this very moment.
Well, if there is, this is the first I've heard of it.
Lily! Lily! Where are you, Lily?
Who's doing all that yelling?
Mother, what's happening around here?
I don't know. Mr. Manchester just ran upstairs like a crazy man.
I wonder what made him do that.
Gee, I hope he doesn't see Aunt Lily. She isn't a bit hip or glamorous today. She's just herself again.
Oh, that same old personality she used to have.
I found her. I've got her.
Hey, look at him. He's holding Aunt Lily downstairs like a
Put me
caveman.
down, Donald. Put me down.
She likes it.
I want to say something, Lily. I want to say it right here in front of everybody. Don't do it, Lily.
Do what?
I can't imagine.
Lily, call off that elopement.
Why, Lily, what's been going on in this house? Oh, I wouldn't know.
I'll make you a devoted husband even though my courtship hasn't been whirlwind.
Sounds mighty whirlwind to me.
Blows me completely over.
Donald, are you proposing?
Well, I guess I am.
Take him up on it quick, Aunt Lily.
All right. I accept you, Donald.
Gee, they're engaged.
Just as soon as I get my breath, I'll congratulate you.
Lily, I think I'm going to kiss you.
Oh, not here, Donald.
Oh, go ahead, Aunt Lily. It's fun.
Children, I just got another letter from Grandma.
What'd she say?
Well, let me see. She says, I'm very happy to hear about Lily's engagement, and, oh, good heavens.
What's the matter, Mother?
She's sending Aunt Gertrude and Cousin Georgiana to visit us. She wants us to get them married, too.
You have just heard A Date with Judy, the story of an American family. Let's join the Foster family again for a moment.
Gee, Mother, I had a good week.
You did, dear?
Yes, I had 5 dates. One with Oogie, and one with Hank, and one with Skunky, and...
Answer the door, Randolph.
Yes, Mother.
Within 20 minutes after the receipt of this order for deportation, you, together with the members of all your families, must be ready for departure and wait in the street outside your house. You may take with you one set of clothing, one woolen blanket per person, food for several days, birth certificate, not more than $20. Other
Fantastic? No, not at all. Hundreds of thousands of Dutch, Belgians, Poles, French have heard that order read. It is being read this very minute in some black corner of Europe. People are victims, always the quiet, innocent people like you, old and young, women with babies in their arms. And it can happen here.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it can happen here, unless we stamp it out over there. And that means guns and tanks and planes. Not only more than the enemy has. Not air supremacy, but air and ground mastery. That takes money. Every day, every hour. More planes must be built, more guns made, more tanks manufactured.
That's right, Dora. Buying a few bonds isn't enough. We must buy bonds regularly so we can make the engines of war without stopping. Every quarter we invest in war bonds sends 12 bullets ripping into Axis tank columns. Every dollar we invest turns our war wheels faster, grinds our enemies smaller. That's why our government urges us to put at least 10% of our earnings into war bonds. That's why millions of Americans have already joined the 10% club by buying war bonds regularly every payday. The best way to safeguard our future is to destroy completely everything the Axis stands for, with bullets, with planes, with tanks. And it'll take money. 10% of it every payday to do the job.
My dad's a member of the 10% club, aren't you, Dad?
That's right, Randolph. Because we know that every day, every dime counts in lives and blood. We hope you buy your quarter of war bonds tomorrow.
A Date with Judy came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
All right, that concludes the first episode of the night. I hope you all liked it, and take your 5-minute break, and we'll be back then. Yeah. And that concludes our 5-minute break. I hope you liked the music, and let's get to episode 2 of the night. Yay! Woo!
Next week, at the same time, Bob Hope will return to the air. With Bob Hope will be all your old friends, Jerry Colonna, Francis Langford, Skinny Ennis, and Vera Vague. And now, Pepsodent invites you to have a date with Judy. Yes, you all have a date with Judy, chaperoned by Pepsodent. At last, something big and important has happened in Judy Foster's life, as her brother Randolph is gradually finding out.
Now, let me get this straight, Judy. You are a reporter on the Daily Chronicle?
Society reporter, Randolph.
Do you have an office at the Daily Chronicle?
Well, not exactly. I'm sort of a reporter without portfolio.
Are you also a reporter without salary?
Don't be ridiculous, Randolph. I get 5 cents an inch for everything they print.
And how much have they printed so far?
1.5 inches. An inch about the bridge party Mitzi's mother was planning, and 1/2 inch when it was called off.
How come it was called off?
Well, Mitzi and I were the ones who planned it.
Keep that up indefinitely, and you'll be a millionaire.
And today the most wonderful thing happened. The regular society reporter got acute indigestion.
Lovely, lovely.
And I had to cover the most utterly super wedding ever held in this town. The Waterman Brewer nuptials. Listen to this. The bridal table was garnished with gladioli and sweet peas. After a sumptuous bridal dinner consisting of lobsterella and Newburgh, the bride and groom left for an undisclosed destination, probably Sandusky.
Probably the hospital.
Isn't that wonderful, Randolph? I wrote every word of it myself.
Even that word sumptuous?
Of course.
You'll probably get the Pulitzer Prize.
Children, I've got the most wonderful news.
Quick, Judy, get out your notebook.
I just got a telegram from Aunt Lilly. She and Mr. Manchester are getting married.
Mother, that's luscious.
Does Mr. Manchester know?
Well, I suppose he had something to do with it.
Where are they going to get married, Mother?
Right here in this house.
In this house? But that's gorgeous. We'll simply blanket the society page. Inches and inches.
Boy, will you be in the chips.
Wait a minute, Judy. I'm not sure Aunt Lilly will want to be blanketed.
Now, Mother, you just don't need to worry about a thing. I know exactly how to handle this. I'll take care of Aunt Lilly, all right.
I can see her now, garnished with sweet peas and lobster a la Newburgh. Right smack in the middle of the society page. Poor Aunt Lilly.
That's only the beginning of a date with Judy for tonight. Here's an examination that was never included in any school curriculum, but it's a mighty important test whether you're of school age or not. It's called the tongue test, and it'll help to give you your personality rating. Now, here it is. Run the tip of your tongue over your teeth. Can you feel a filmy coating? If you can, you've flunked the test. And you'd better get Pepsodent toothpaste tonight, for that filmy coating on your teeth is collecting stains, making your teeth look dull and dingy, hiding the sparkle of your smile. And it's a warning that your present toothpaste may be letting you down. Pepsodent toothpaste whisks up that film away, makes your teeth so clean and sparkling they feel shiny smooth. Pepsodent with Irium is the super cleanser that makes your teeth feel bright, makes your mouth feel fresh and cool and clean. So get a tube of Pepsodent tonight. Use it tonight, because tomorrow may be your big day. Just take a used metal tube to your drug counter, any kind or size will do, and say, Pepsodent toothpaste, please. And now, let's get back on that date with Judy.
Lily, I'm so glad you're here. And Donald, come
right in. Oh, it's so
good to see you.
Were you surprised?
Oh, surprised. I was never so glad to hear anything in all my life.
And, Aunt Lily, you don't have to worry about a thing. Everything's under control.
You should only know.
Lily, have you set the date? Well, we thought this Saturday.
This Saturday? You can't dream. It'll take a month to get everything ready.
I'm ready now.
Oh, no, Mr. Manchester. Never, Mr. Manchester. There are millions of things to do for a big wedding like this.
But, Judy, I think you've got the wrong idea. We're going to have a quiet, simple ceremony with just the family.
Yes, we just want to, well, get married.
Oh, you can't do that. I'd lose my job.
What?
If anybody in our family gets married and it's not a society wedding, I'd be disgraced.
Oh, dear.
I've decided it's going to be a garden wedding.
A garden wedding?
Of course. The Waterman Brewer wedding was. And we could never cram a big mob of people into our living room.
But we don't want to cram a big mob of people anywhere.
We just want to get married.
Who are going to be the bridesmaids?
Bridesmaids?
The bride picks them from her most intimate friends. There were 8 at the Waterman Brewer nuptials.
Oh, but I don't have 8 intimate friends. I don't even know any other women in town here.
Oh, they can't be women. They've got to be girls. Except the matron of honor. She's allowed to be a little matronly.
Well, I hope the bride's allowed to be a little matronly, because Aunt Lily...
Just think of some of your school chums, Aunt Lily.
But, Judy, I haven't been in school since, 1926.
Instead of bridesmaids, she ought to have 8 matrons of honor.
Then, Mr. Manchester, I appeal to you. Couldn't we convert some of your friends into bridesmaids?
His intimate friends?
Well, why do we have to have bridesmaids? We just want to get married.
Mr. Manchester, let's get down to fundamentals. Who are you going to have as your best man?
Well, is a best man absolutely necessary?
It's vital. No nuptial should be without one.
Well, could Randolph here sort of...
Best man? Me? Have you looked at me lately?
Randolph is utterly out of the question. The best man has to be an intimate friend of yours.
Well, Randolph and I sort of understand each other.
Try to think, Mr. Manchester. I could give you a hint by mentioning that at the Waterman Brewer nuptials, the best man went to Princeton with the groom and belonged to the same clubs.
Well, there was a fellow who took a library course with me at night school, and we both belonged to the YMCA.
Oh. Can't you think of anybody else?
What about that friend of yours from Ashland, Donald?
Bert Oliver?
Yes, he might come. Oh, but it's a lot of bus fare just
That's
for...
fine. Bert Oliver. I'll make a note of it. We'll send an engraved invitation to him.
When we get him engraved.
Just who is Mr. Oliver, may I ask?
You may ask.
Oh, he's a mailman.
A mailman.
Covers the whole Ashland district, single-handed.
Jeepers. How's that going to sound in the Daily Chronicle?
Look, does it really make any difference how it sounds in the Daily Chronicle? All we want to do is get married.
Seems like a simple wish.
In town for the Rogan-Manchester nuptials is Bert Oliver, well-known government executive. For goodness sake, Judy, he's only a mailman.
And he isn't even in town yet. He doesn't get in here until tomorrow morning's bus.
The Daily Chronicle is never wrong.
Judy, please, let's not have any more publicity.
Well, my goodness, the way everybody's acting, you'd never know we were going to have any nuptials in this house tomorrow. Aunt Lily ought to be trying on her wedding gown.
Oh, I'm just going to wear that little gray suit I bought last spring with a white blouse.
Aunt Lily, that's impossible. You've simply got to have a wedding dress. I intended to take at least 4 inches to describe it.
And 4 inches is 20 cents right there.
I don't know what's going to happen to my job. If I have to come in the office and say, my aunt was married in a little gray suit with a white blouse.
Maybe you should have a wedding dress, Lily. After all, it makes it more of an occasion.
And you only get married once.
She'll be lucky if that comes off.
I just want to have the kind of wedding you had.
Oh, yes, it was nice, wasn't it?
Now, just a minute. What happened?
Well, it was in Grandma's living room in Springfield. There were about 12 people there, all close members of the family.
12 people?
It was practically a secret.
I guess the ceremony only lasted about 10 minutes, but I'll never forget it as long as I live.
What did you wear?
A white afternoon dress with a pink sash.
Yes, I remember when you cut it up into dust rags.
No veil?
No, darling. Your father and I just wanted to, get married.
Why, it doesn't sound like it was worth an inch in a newspaper. It certainly would have been different if I'd been there.
That I can believe.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, Donald, where did you come from?
I took a few minutes off from the library. I couldn't go right through the day without a glimpse of my intended.
How sweet of you to say that, Donald.
I brought my suit over, too.
Well, isn't that nice?
I thought I'd better leave it here. It'll be easier to change into it here tomorrow.
You're not going to wear that blue serge suit for your wedding.
Oh, yes. This wedding is the biggest occasion in my life. I don't see what else I should save the suit for.
Don't you have a morning coat or a cutaway?
Me? Oh, no.
But you can't get married in a messy old serge suit.
Well, I looked beautiful at my graduation from library school in 1931. Randolph, would you do me a favor?
Oh, sure.
I haven't had a chance to get it pressed. Will you run it down to the cleaners for me?
Oh, sure thing, pal.
Randolph, would you like me to walk down to the cleaners with you?
To what do I owe this kind but sudden offer?
I just thought, well, it's a kind of heavy suit, and maybe you'd like a little help carrying it.
Well, okay, but you frighten me. Whenever you get that sweet, helpful look in your eyes, something awful starts, like a blizzard or an epidemic.
Come on, Randolph. Goodbye, folks. We'll see you later.
Goodbye, Judy.
Okay, Judy, let me have it. What's on that pretty little mind of yours?
Randolph, I suddenly decided in there that if nobody's going to help me give Aunt Lily a society wedding, I'll have to do it myself, single-handed.
Are you kidding?
I've made up my mind. Mr. Manchester is not going to wear this suit. He's going to wear a tailcoat.
A tailcoat? You're knitting it for him, of course.
Incidentally, this blue serge suit smells funny.
Well, you'd smell funny, too, if you had mothballs in all your pockets.
Imagine Mr. Manchester wanting to wear this at his wedding.
Yeah, I can see him reaching for the ring, pulling out a mothball.
That shows what you know about weddings. It's the best man who handles the ring situation.
Hiya, Judy. Where are you going? I was just coming over to your
Mitzi,
house.
you're just the person I want to see. I'm going to need you.
For what?
I'm going to take over Aunt Lily's entire wedding.
You are?
Are you going to let Aunt Lily stand at the altar, or do you take over there, too?
I want you to come with us, Mitzi. First, we're going to trade this blue serge suit for tails and white tie.
We're not going to have it pressed?
We are not. We're going to Sam and Joe's swap shop.
Oh, Judy, that's wonderful. I adore swapping.
Should I take the mothballs out of this suit, or should we swap them for something at Sam and Joe's, too?
Take them out. I don't want him to get the impression this is an old suit.
Oh, they'd never get that impression. Not unless they can smell. Hey, Judy, look what I just found in the vest pocket.
What?
An address book. Well, look at this. Velma Teasdale, phone 7630. Well, I never would have thunk it of Uncle Donald.
Randolph, that gives me the most terrific idea.
What is it?
That's where we're going to get our bridesmaids.
Where?
In that address book. Since Aunt Lily doesn't know any girls in town, is there any reason why the bridesmaids can't be his friends?
I can think of a few reasons.
Well, it's kind of daring, Judy.
I don't care. Anybody this hard up for bridesmaids would do anything. Who else is there in the book, Randolph?
Oh, let's see. There's an Edith spelled with a Y, phone 264. She doesn't have a last name.
I don't see how we can invite her if she doesn't have a last name.
Oh, but we gotta have Edith. She's Mr. Manchester's best friend.
How do you know?
Her page is practically worn out.
Let me see that book. Maybe we can find some more names. Archive Bookstore.
What a bridesmaid.
Are there any others?
The Acme Wrought Iron Beam Company.
Ah, there's your matron of honor.
Well, at least we'll get two bridesmaids. Velma and Edith with a Y.
You know, I'm really getting interested in this wedding.
Oh, Mitzi, it's going to be wonderful. I know just how I'm going to start it in the Chronicle.
How?
In the delightfully arboreal setting of the Foster's garden.
Where the corn and taters grow.
We'll be back with Judy and her plans for Aunt Lily's wedding in just a moment. Say, did you folks see the eclipse of the moon a few weeks ago? Well, I hope you did, because there it was, an illustration right in the sky of what I've been talking about. There was the moon, bright as could be. But as the shadow of the earth moved across it, the sparkle and brilliance of the moon was covered up with a dark film. And that's what happens to your teeth when they're covered with a filmy coating that collects stains. Their brilliance and sparkle are covered up by film, and there's a total eclipse of your smile. But remove that film with Pepsodent toothpaste, and your teeth will shine again as they were meant to shine, sparkling and beautiful. You see, Pepsodent is a very special toothpaste. It contains irium and a super cleansing ingredient that loosens and flushes away the filmy coating from your teeth. Millions of refreshing bubbles foam through your mouth. Make your teeth brilliantly clean. Leave your mouth feeling cool and fresh. Tonight, hunt up an empty tube, any size from any product, and take it to your drug counter to exchange when you get a new tube of Pepsodent toothpaste. Then bring your smile out from under that eclipse. Give yourself a big, bright, dazzling Pepsodent smile. And now, back to that date with Judy.
Oh, Judy, this is going to be the most terrific wedding ever held in this town.
I figure to make at least 80 cents on it.
Is the garden all cleaned up for the wedding?
It's simply arboreal and everything.
Randolph Foster reporting on the general chaos.
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing much. Mother's practically hysterical. Aunt Lilly isn't sure what's flying. Mr. Manchester's struggling into a wing collar. The guests will arrive any minute, and it looks like rain.
Now, don't worry about the rain. That's the silliest thing I ever heard of.
You might tell that to the clouds.
Randolph, have the bridesmaids come yet?
No, but the best man has.
He has? What does he look like, Randolph?
He's indescribable. You're going to have quite a tussle writing him up.
Where is he? I want to meet him.
He's in the house, pacing up and down, carrying a violin case.
A violin case?
He said he brought it with him in case anybody wanted him to play I Love You Truly.
That's a wonderful idea. Come on, let's go in and meet him.
I wonder what he's going to wear to the wedding.
Did he bring white tie and tails, Randolph?
No, but he brought his violin.
How's that going to sound in the Chronicle? My goodness, the best man wore a violin. Gee, I don't see why people can't cooperate.
Well, there he is. Mr. Oliver, this is my sister and her friend Mitzi.
How do you do?
Gee, he isn't any Cary Grant, is he?
A lady, what has Cary Grant got that I haven't got?
Well, for one thing, a chin.
Very funny. Very funny remark.
Mr. Oliver, are you acquainted with the duties of a best man?
Well, I guess what I do is kind of stand beside the groom and catch him if he faints and stuff.
Mr. Oliver, this is very serious, being a best man. I hope you won't take your duties too lightly.
Well, how can he? He's going to be a mighty busy man. He's not only got to hand the groom the ring, but play I Love You Truly, too. Well, looks like somebody's here already. How do you do?
Oh, how do you do? I'm Velma Teasdale.
Oh, one of the bridesmaids. Come right in.
Are you the one who phoned and invited me?
Yes, I am.
Well, I think it was wonderful of Donnie to want me at his wedding. Donnie and I used to be that way.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I'm so glad you were able to come. I think your gown is lovely.
There's only one question I have.
Yes?
How'd she hook him?
Well, I couldn't say.
I'd love to get a squint at her.
Well, she's upstairs dressing right now.
I think I better tune my fiddle.
Oh, Mr. Oliver. This is Miss Teasdale. He's the best man, Miss Teasdale.
How do you do?
Hello.
I feel the same way about him.
Judy, come up here.
Oh, excuse me. The bride wants me.
Do you mind if I tag along? This is the most fascinating day. I don't want to miss a bit of it.
I'm coming, too.
You play the violin, I see. I love talented geniuses.
What do you suppose Aunt Lilly wants, Randolph?
She wants to get married. I, however, am laying odds.
Oh, be quiet, Randolph.
Oh, there you are, Judy. Your mother tells me that you planned the wedding in the garden.
Why, of course.
But I don't want it in the garden. I just want a simple, quiet wedding in the living room.
And it seems to me Aunt Lily ought to have her way about something.
But she's got to have it in the garden. Today's Chronicle says it's in the garden.
6 inches says it's in the garden.
But the Chronicle also says it's going to rain.
And I don't want to have a wet wedding.
Now listen, Aunt Lily. I know the weatherman at the newspaper, and he's very unreliable. Every time he says it's going to rain, it's all sunshiny and everything.
Judy Foster, come here to the window.
Why, what's wrong, Mother?
Who are those ladies in the garden? I don't know them.
Oh, I know them.
Well, what are they fighting about right in front of everybody, too?
They're the bridesmaids.
Judy, did you invite bridesmaids after all Aunt Lily and Mr. Manchester said about having a simple family wedding?
Well, Mother, at the Waterman Brewer wedding, they...
Haven't you done enough? Aunt Lily had to let out all the seams in that wedding dress you bought for her with heaven knows whose money. Poor thing having to sew on her wedding day. And Mr. Manchester's practically crying.
Crying?
That tailcoat is so tight it hurts him.
But, Mother, it was the best one Sam and Joe had in the whole swap shop.
Judy, will you please attend to those bridesmaids? A fine thing at a wedding, where everything is supposed to be sweetness and light, to have a bunch of women fighting.
I wonder what they're fighting about.
I haven't the slightest idea. I also haven't the slightest idea where you got them.
You'd be simply fascinated if you knew.
Now, please, Judy, don't complicate this wedding anymore. I'm having troubles enough with Grandma.
What's wrong with her?
Well, I knew she was going to cry at the wedding, but I didn't think she was going to start an hour beforehand.
Maybe she and Mr. Manchester ought to get together.
Judy, are you going to quiet those bridesmaids, or aren't you?
Oh, all right. Come on, Randolph.
Okay.
My goodness. I have to do everything. It's a good thing I'm capable. It isn't every Aunt Lily who has an assistant society editor to arrange a wedding for her. Hey, I just thought of something. Who's going to give the bride away?
Nobody, I hope. She's 34, you know.
Judy! Oh, Judy!
Oh, Mr. Manchester. Why, you look positively handsome.
I feel like a penguin with these tails. This wing collar keeps flapping back and forth like a windmill.
Stop worrying. This is going to be the most wonderful wedding I ever gave.
But I don't want you to give me a wonderful wedding. I just want to get married.
Oh, we'll throw that in, too.
All I ask is a teeny-weeny favor. Give me back my blue serge suit.
We can't until after the wedding.
Unless you want to get married in your underwear.
I like that blue serge suit. I want to wear it. I'm personally attached to it.
Well, at present, Sam and Joe's swap shop is personally attached to it.
Don't worry, Mr. Manchester. You can swap it back right after the wedding.
Oh.
Would you care to accompany us to the garden, Mr. Manchester? We're going to see the bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids? Do I know them?
Why, you'll just be surprised how well you know him.
He liked me better than he liked you, and I don't care what you say.
Is that so?
Oh, my
He
goodness.
never gave you a poodle dog.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's better.
Oh, that's Edith. Edith Kroll.
I wonder what archive she came from.
What's she doing here? And Velma Teasdale. Oh, my word.
I went with him 3 years ago, last May, June, and July.
Oh, dear.
May, June, and July, you couldn't have. That's when I was going with her. Oh, no,
Gee, I think they're fighting over you, Uncle Donald.
Randolph, Judy, does Lily know who the bridesmaids are?
Not exactly.
We didn't say a word about them, except that we found their telephone numbers in your little black book.
Oh, dear, this is awful. Awful.
He had a terrific crush on me. Well, for the love of Pete. Look, there he is.
Oh, dear.
Donald, you liked me better than you liked Edith, now didn't you? Oh, that isn't true. He had a bigger crush on me, didn't you, Donald?
Oh, my.
Crush on you, Edith Kroll. I'll crush you, you two-timer, you.
Ladies, please, the ceremony's about to begin.
I don't care. She stole Donnie away from me. She stole him away from me.
Oh, my goodness.
Ladies.
She's no lady. And to think that in May, June, and July of 1939... I lived in a beautiful pipe dream. You stole Donnie away from me and...
Oh, look, ladies, what difference does it make? He's marrying somebody else.
Oh, my. Oh, here comes Lily.
Now, quiet, everybody. Here comes the bride.
Well, I don't care. He did like me best. Oh, yes, Donald didn't even know that you were alive. Did you, Donald?
Oh, hello. Oh, Lily.
What's all this about? Oh, are these the bridesmaids?
Donald was in love with me. He was in love with me.
Oh, Donald.
Now, don't pay any attention, Lily. It doesn't mean a thing.
Oh, how could you? You told me I was the first woman you'd ever loved. And all of a sudden, here are two more.
But Lily,
How many others were there, Donald?
Lily, listen to me. It was only puppy love. I was very young then, still in my early 30s.
You're a Casanova, that's all.
Lily, please.
Aunt Lily, don't be mad at Uncle Donald.
Don't call him Uncle Donald.
But Uncle Donald went with these girls years ago. Eons before he knew you.
Did you love them, Donald?
Of course not, Lily.
Well, he gave me a poodle. And me a fox terrier.
Puppy love is right.
Lily, I love you. I've never loved anybody else. Now, please believe me. Let's get the wedding started.
All right, Donald. I believe you.
Oh, that's wonderful, Aunt Lily. Mr. Oliver, strike up the fiddle. Mr. Manchester, get down there by the minister, quick.
Oh, my.
And now, Aunt Lily, start walking slowly.
The bride looks just lovely, doesn't she?
For her. I knew this was going to be the most wonderful wedding the Chronicle ever had on its society page.
Oh, for the love of heaven, it's beginning to pour.
Now, ignore the rain, everybody. We've got to get married.
Donald, how can we? My wedding dress, it'll be ruined.
Now, look, maybe we better all go in the house.
What'll I do with my violin?
Sound retreat.
Sound retreat. I can't. My violin's full of water.
This tailcoat's beginning to shrink. It's crawling up on me.
We'll choke him to death. Come on, everybody.
Oh, yes.
Oh, this beautiful, beautiful wedding.
I'm all wet. This is what comes of Grandma crying so much.
Now, we can all get together in the living room. And don't worry about tracking up the carpet.
Somebody slipped me out of this corset.
Oh, dear. Now he'll have to get married in his shirt sleeves.
Mr. Oliver, as soon as everybody rings themselves out, you can start to play the wedding march again.
No, I can't, ma'am. My fiddle's flooded. My beautiful, beautiful fiddle.
Oh, but it was only a cheap violin, wasn't it, Mr. Oliver?
I loved it like it was a Stradivarius.
Oh, for heaven's sake, let's get this over with before my tailcoat disappears entirely. Reverend, start the ceremony, please.
Mr. Manchester, I have the most appalling news. The pages of my little book got all stuck together in the rain.
Oh, dear. Well, can't you remember how the service goes?
I can try. Will you stand here, Miss Rogan? And you here, Mr. Manchester.
Oh, no.
What's that?
At the Waterman Brewer nuptials, the bride stood there and the groom stood there.
This is the last straw. I don't give a hoot where they stood at the Waterman Brewer nuptials. All I want to do is get married.
But I was just trying
Judy
to get...
Foster, you come here.
Mr. Manchester, what are you going to do?
Up until now, I've been a quiet man who's never put his hand to a woman. But I can restrain myself no longer.
Oh, no. Don't do that, Mr. Manchester.
You can call me Uncle now. And bend over, please.
Oh, Uncle Donald.
Wowie! He's spanking her.
Good. She's needed it for years.
I never thought it was in him. This is the end.
That's right, Randolph. That's exactly where I'm aiming.
And now I'd like to tell you all about something that's...
Mr. Keating, we have something terribly important to tell you.
Well, hold it just a minute, Judy. There are a couple of things I have to do first. Then we can talk.
Well, this is quite a monumental declaration on Judy's part, Mr. Keating.
Okay, kids, I'll be with you right away. But first, I'd like to say this. High school kids and that nice old lady next door, pretty girls and hard-boiled businessmen, they all have told us how much they like the Pepsodent 50 Tough toothbrush. High school kids like it because the nylon bristles keep their pep. Don't get flabby and go blah on the teeth. That nice old lady likes it because it's gentle as well as efficient. Doesn't scratch tender gums. Pretty girls like it because it ensures that attractive smile. And businessmen like the Pepsodent brush because from every angle, it's a swell buy. Super efficient, thanks to those 50 tufts of nylon bristles. Twice as many tufts as any other brush having a small, compact head. And there's a Pepsodent bonus with every brush. In every package, a cash certificate worth 10 cents extra spending money. So please everybody at your house. Get a Pepsodent 50 Tough toothbrush for each member of your family when you go to your drug counter tonight.
Now, Mr. Keating?
Now?
Okay, Judy and Randolph, what's on your mind?
Well, the fact is, Mr. Keating...
For the first time in her life, Judy wants to refuse a date.
Huh?
Yeah, there's a young chap you may have heard of who's sort of taking over starting next Tuesday.
I can't accept the date because I want to stay home and listen to him on the radio.
His name's Hope. Bob Hope. Likeable chap. I predict he'll go far.
Yes. You see, he's coming on the air as, well, sort of winter replacement for our program.
And so next Tuesday night, with Pepsodent as chaperone, we all have a date with Bob Hope. And the whole gang, Francis Langford, Jerry Colonna, Skinny Ennis, and Vera Vague.
That's right. Isn't that super?
That's right, kids. Super is the word. Next week, Bob Hope. Judy and Randolph, we think you've been super. So long for a while. A Date with Judy, with Deli Ellis, Dix Davis, Bea Benaderet, and Louise Erickson, is written by Aline Leslie and Jerome Lawrence. Original music by Gordon Jenkins. This is Larry Keating speaking for Pepsodent, inviting you to listen next week to Bob Hope. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
KFI, Los Angeles, Earl C. Anthony, Incorporated.